So I'm going to quickly whiz it up because we've got 15 minutes. I should be able to do it, to be honest. So if I show you on the overhead, I keep picking up the wrong mouse. Let's put that one back. This one's here. Right, here we go. Oh gosh, that looks wonky. It's not wonky. So what you need is I'm going to do 8.5-inch square. So an 8.5-inch square of outer fabric, an 8.5-inch square of wadding, and an 8.5-inch square of lining. Okay, and that's basically all we need. I'll just give that a quick iron. And the first thing we're going to do, and I'll put the lining to one side, and it's really hot now, which we don't really want. But the first thing we're going to do, if I can find my pen, is to do some quilting on this bit here. Okay, so I'm going to do a fairly big bit of quilting, but you might want to do this a lot smaller. Okay, so I've got my heat erasable pen. That's great. Let's do it at 2 inches, but you're going to do it perhaps even an inch. Okay, I just don't have time on my side as usual, so I'm doing 2 inches, but you do inch or an inch and a half. Okay, and I'm just going across the whole piece with my heat erasable pen and the wadding as well. Oops. That's it. Come on, guys. That's it. And then it won't take long to put together. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines there. I'm not sure you'll be able to see it. I'll bring it up. Oh, I can just about see it. And then we'll go across. So this is a really like half an hour bit of stitching that we're going to cram in 15 minutes. All right, so from here, from this simple design, you can create so many different variations. Think about your lining. I mean, I've used this spotty, but you could use something really exotic because you are going to see it. So you could use something really wacky just to sort of brighten it up. You could add a tab or a tag, you know, that type of thing. You could add, we're going to use a popper, assuming I have time. And but you could add a magnetic closure, that type of thing. Okay, so I've got my stitch length on 3, so we should be able to whiz this. Okay, so I'm just going to put it under the machine. I've still only got my 2 layers. You're a bit, let me just move you slightly. That's it. So I've got my stitch length on 3, just to be quick, and actually that's not a bad stitch length to have. Needle in the centre as normal, and then we're just going to whiz along. With this type of thing, if you've got lots and lots of rows, it's good to actually go up and then down rather than top to bottom like I'm doing now. So, but this is for quickness really. See all my trappings, honestly. And we're going to trim this down to 8 inches in a sec. I mean, we don't have to be honest, but I think I will. And it's a lovely little project. I said to Jackie, I think just share that with our lovely ladies in the members group. It would be super. So, you know, you can watch these lives anytime you like. If you want to baste your wadding down, then please do. I haven't sprayed it or anything. But obviously you can. So let's do the next lot, and just it doesn't take long, you know. Like I say, a lot of these things are really quick projects, but you can certainly do more quilting than me. So just put cut away. All the way along, just 2 more to do. There we go. What's this about binding tool? Oh, the yeah, I know the one. What I was saying about the Julia. Yeah, I mean it's basically it's an acrylic template, isn't it? Whichever way you look at it. Yeah. I thought, well, you've got to do something else other than just using it for binding. Right, so there is our front done. If we turn it over, you can see that's what the back looks like. And if I move you onto the overhead again, oops, nearly, there we go. We'll give that a quick iron, and I'll trim it down a bit. So if you iron it, it takes the pen marks away, and it really cleans it up. It's amazing the difference little iron does. So let's get a cutting mat up. Hold on. I have to stand up for this, you know I'm hopeless at sitting down and cutting. And I'm going to cut it down to 8 inches, okay? And I'm going to cut the, let's put it on top of each other like that. So lining and outer right sides together. I'll just give that a quick pin just to hold it in place. And I'm going to cut it down to 8 inches square. And I'm going to do it equally all the way round. So I'm just going to cut off a 1/4 inch all the way round because I've did my quilting. I must put a new blade in this. I've done so much cutting over the last few days. It's really almost had it. Almost had it. So let's just check. It doesn't matter, but 8 inches is good. Well, that's not bad. Yeah. That's fine. So then what you need to do is to draw on this, on one corner, a circle. And I'm just looking round for a circle. Oh, I've got one. I've got a bit of Gorilla Tape here. So you need to have a fairly decent circle. So a lid off of a pot really isn't big enough. So there we are. Can you see? And I'm just going to cut that with my scissors. And let's use my little orange scissors here. Somebody's playing some music out there. Having a Barbie. There we go. So look, I've cut that now. Okay, just that one corner. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stitch all the way around. I'm going to leave a little turning gap, probably here. So instead of doing double pins, I'll just do a little line like that. And I'm just going to stitch here all the way around to there. Do a nice little back stitch so it's nice and secure. And we'll just bring the machine in. There we go. Got so much rubbish on my desk. It's unbelievable. Okay, so 1/4 inch, thereabouts. Don't measure it, just go for it. And back. Oh, too many, but not matter. And then all the way around. And do pin or clip just to make sure that all your layers stay together. Or use a walking foot. I'm just literally supporting it all with my hands. That's it. And then all the way around. So you've got these right sides together. Okay. Just all the way around. Just be careful around that end. Use a smaller stitch so you've got a nice smooth curve. So put it on a 2, and then nice little back stitch so it's secure. Okay. We have the tool now, Lizzie. You showed it to us, a corner template. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh my gosh. Of course. Trouble is, when your mind's on overtime, you can't always think of these things. If I was in a quiet place in my head, I'd remember. Right, so yeah, good idea actually. It's a perfect tool, isn't it? For goodness sake. Right, chop your corners off so you're fairly, you know, get rid of the bulk. Yeah, so chop, chop, chop. Use your pinking shears or snip into this. Pinking shears are better than this because really you want to get rid of the bulk. So if you do this and snip, just go back in and cut V's out. Don't have to be super neat, but just go back in and get rid of some of this bulk. Okay, so you literally, actually forget I had that tool. I didn't really forget, it's just I never thought about it. Right, so so if you can see, we've got those V's cut out there. Okay, so before we actually turn this through, we're going to let's just get my protector here. We're going to turn this back a 1/4 inch. If you give it a really good press, you've got a fighting chance of getting a nice neat finish when you come to turn it, stitch the turning gap. And yes, you have to stitch the turning gap, but you're not stitching this, you're just pressing it, so it's got a memory to it. Okay, if you're using polyester, H640, that type of thing, don't iron on it like I've just done. Use a protector. And we've got a few now, haven't we? That new Vaseline one, who I was promised one by Alistair and I haven't had. So now we're going to turn it through. We've got 3 minutes. Yeah, we've got 3 minutes. What's this? Could someone tell me about the binding tool? Google it. Google it. It's sometimes asking a question, it's quicker to Google it, because then you get the pictures, you get the information, whereas to actually write it down, sometimes it would take longer to write it down for you, and also we couldn't show you a picture. So Google it. Google is your best friend, always. Always, always, always. Google it. And there must be videos, what I did somewhere on YouTube, perhaps, you know, for Crafter's Companion. It's a good tool. Interesting. I'm always skeptical about tools and whether they actually help you. I think this one does, because it helps you with the joining of the binding. That's what it does. That's what its job is. But I always figure there must be something else it can do. And that's when we came up with the Julia. Well, when I did. They didn't. I'm not going to give them credit for anything. So you're going to do your corners a lot better than me, guys. Okay. And if you notice, we've got our turning gap fairly neat there. You'll need to have a little play with that to make sure that because we've turned that, and this is like rolled because there's wadding in the seam. Sometimes this will look like it sticks out because we haven't got that rolled effect. Yeah. So then give it a squirt of Sew Flat or Best Press or whatever your weapon of choice is. Give it a really good iron, because that really makes a difference. Right, that's a bit better. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is fold that over like that. Okay, and you might perhaps want a bigger curve than that. And that, I'm just trying to think, no, it is that. And then what you're going to do, I think I might be as well to stitch that first, but then you're going to stitch along here and join that all together, and that is a lovely little glasses case, and we're just going to put a popper in there. But I'll stitch it first. Let me do that. Oops, just burnt a hole in my table. Let me stitch it first. Now there's quite a bit of layers here, so you might want to consider not having your wadding right up to the edge, okay? And you want to make sure that when you stitch it, that it's really neat, so you get that lining pretty much tucked inside. Yeah, I think I'd prefer to have this a little bit more open, but. And I mean, the thing is, if you take more off, that's fine, isn't it? You just can't add it on. So let's start stitching there. So you want a longer stitch. So take your stitch length up to, well, 3.5, okay? You need to take your stitch length up. So take it all the way down. And you could zigzag this if you want. Or use your fabulous buttonhole stitch, and then we're coming up to this end bit, and I want to make sure that that lining is sitting straight, which is not too bad. Hold on, let's give it a little bit of a poke. That's it. Let's get that underneath there. Try and get it lined up. So obviously I'm doing this quickly, but you might want to spend a bit of time with this. And then when you come to the corner, do a little back stitch. And then you've got your glasses case, and we can put a popper in here. Let's have a sort of about here. Yeah, so I would say about 1/2 inch down. So you might not want to measure it, but I shall do it by eye. Have you got time? 2 minutes past. Shall we do it? Let's do it. So pop the pen down. Let's just get you in a bit. Somebody's having a party. Okay, so let me get my. Oh, I have to change this. I was using this for my my Blue Beauty. It sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? But all will be revealed if you sign up for it. It all will be revealed. So let's pop the cap back on. I'll put that in a minute. So what we need to do is put a hole in here. So let's protect this one. I hope I've got that in the middle. I think it looks fairly okay. Hole in there. Oh, there's Millie. She's saying, "Why aren't you downstairs, Mummy?" Come to see you. Hello, Millie dog. She had injections today, guys. She oh, where's my tool? Hold on. We need the 2L. It is. Yeah, she has, because of her fur and everything, she scratches and has skin allergies and stuff. So she has to have a monthly injection. I can't even tell you the price, it's ridiculous. But she's so worth it. So she's had that today. And so she's not feeling sorry for herself, but she's a bit quiet. Because I expect, it's a bit like an antihistamine, isn't it? It's going to make her a bit sort of tired, really. So 2 hands. Yeah. There we go. So that's one popper in, okay? And then with this one, we put this on the back, the button. And then we need the other one, the other version. If you push it down with both thumbnails, it will stay there. So it gives you a chance to line all this up. And give it a squidge. Let's have a look. That's not bad. I don't think that's squidged enough. Let's put it on the. It's no good putting it on a mat like this because you're just squidging into the mat. So you want to put it on a hard surface if you're pushing against it like that. Let's see. It's better, but I think it's a little bit off kilter. There we go. See if I can get that in there. It needs a bit of help, but I will do it. Because once you've got it, it's fine. So that then can take your sunglasses. See, they're not sunglasses, but you know, use your imagination. And then you've got a popper. Nearly, that's it. You've got a popper to keep them safe. So you can have, so you could put like a tab in here, for instance, or maybe you could have put some lace on here. Think about all those projects you've been doing recently where you've had lace and buttons and bits of embroidery and stuff like that. Well, that's perfect for that, isn't it? You could have, if you have your own tags of, you know, handmade by whatever, Lizzy, you could have your tag coming out here so it looks very professional.